Are we okay? We got to fucking... We've got to do the fucking shit that we for fucking drug abuse. No! Are you listening?
Sean here, and we all know this, but Lorne Armstrong is a liar. The one thing I have a hard time with is trying to reason why everything that he's ever told anyone has no details. Nothing. He talks about his past all of the time, but he never gets into it. There's never any accompanying information. It's one sentence, and that's all we get. Lorne has lived 50 plus years. He has had to have some life experiences, some that are truly interesting. I've yet to hear one. If he wanted to impress these catfish women, he would give details. He would give lots of details. Because Lorne is a liar, and he loves to embellish, he's a virgin who likes to talk about one-night stands, and occasionally he throws out a name. He talks about Paula, Nikki, Amanda James. He doesn't have any information whatsoever on what actually happened. The most detail he's ever gone into has been with Chris Hansen. Whenever most people tell a story, it takes a while to get it out because they're telling you all of the aspects of it. They're telling you the players in it. They're telling you the variables. Just descriptive language. With Lorne, it's, yeah, well, Paula, we were headed to a relationship. That's it. That's all you got. We know what really happened. Or at least I think we know what really happened. The most detail I think I've ever heard from him has been in that stupid prison journal where he made himself out to be a badass, where he was beating all the other pedophiles up. I know that he kept himself in isolation. He asked to be put in segregation. He didn't want to be in Gen Pop. What he did would have gotten him beaten up on a regular basis. I know he wouldn't have been touched by any other inmates who might have wanted to do certain things to him because he looks like a melted ice cream cone with disgusting Yeti pubic hair all over him. I can't see anybody looking at that and go, I hate him for what he did, but yeah, we're not going to be doing that. I can't see them saying, yeah, I want a piece of that. So moving on, skipping the prison journal and all the bullshit, everything else he talks about, we don't know much about it. I wonder if he sits at his mom and he's telling her about all the details of his day. Move some dirt over here, move some dirt over there. Do you remember the video he sent Winnie? Well, you weren't feeling good, so I thought I'd show you what I'm doing today. Move some dirt from here, got some dirt over there. And that's it. That's the story she got, is we moved a bunch of dirt. Lorne doesn't like to be pressed on anything. Remember, Ramona was asking him about the sting. Why do you keep pressuring me on this? Because, Lorne, you're a lot like Darkside Phil and these other streamers who are isolated, and there are no dissenting opinions. There's no reckoning. They don't have to come to some kind of compromise. They can just say whatever they want. Darkside Phil spouting out crap about what percentage of his audience is made up by whatever group without ever showing the statistics. He can just blurt it out there and make it the truth. And we know Lorne, he can do the same. But whenever he's confronted, whenever he's asked for details, he can never give them. This dude supposedly ran a very successful business. What have we heard about it other than, well, yeah, I owned a septic business? What have we actually heard about it? I would love to know how he did his finances. I mean, he would be talking about how difficult it was. We had to get all the materials, and I had to go through Bob, but then I had to go through another supplier, and when I hired the crew, the stories would go on and on. You don't run a business without some kind of adversity or some kind of funny story. But Lorne did, and he never talked about it. What did he talk about with that? He fled to Nashville after he stole money from Betty, and the only reason he talked about that was because it was brought up and he was forced to. Every day, most of us come home and we have some story from work. Somebody said something or did something. Think of the last time you heard him say anything interesting. Went to Tony's, we watched $25,000 Pyramid, drove home drunk. That's it. He hasn't done anything in his life. I have stories that could take up to a year to tell, just because of all the things I've done. And I know there are others who could probably tell more than that. Well, we're going to back up. We're going to talk about Lorne. He hasn't done anything. He never even talks about the fucking military. Why don't you talk about the military, Lorne? Stuff that happens there always makes for a good story. We're also talking about a guy who lied about somebody's name to Jamie Annie. And when he was confronted about it, he started talking about, well, it's just a white lie, it won't hurt anybody. Who the fuck lies about somebody you don't even know? They make up a name. Who lies? I guess it's Lorne because he wants to say, hey, look, you know I'm a loser, I know I'm a loser, but hey, I know this other person's name, so I'm not all bad. People like me. Name a friend, Lorne. Name any friend you've ever had, not named Tony Parma. Go ahead. We'll wait. He can't meet new people because he has nothing to talk about. You usually have a common interest when you first start talking to people. You either connect with them or you don't. And when you do connect with them, you have that initial rush of, wow, you know this, let me tell you about this. Oh, do you remember this? Yeah, and they just pass information back and forth. Lorne couldn't do that. What's he going to say? Yeah, well, you know, my past. I guarantee the first thing he told anybody was, I've been catfished, and that's it. That's all he's got. Move dirt from here to there. Without these catfish women, he has nothing to talk about. But he doesn't even lie well enough to convince anyone he's ever done anything. So I think, in this case, maybe for Lorne, embellishing a story a little bit might endear somebody to him, and maybe, just maybe, he'll have somebody to talk to. If you're his counselor and you see him coming in, you've got to be like, oh shit, here we go. And you know that everything that comes out of his mouth is going to be bullshit. You can't really say anything. You can try to get him to tell the truth, but he's not going to. Lorne can't think more than one move ahead. So here's how that session would go. He'd come in, he'd talk, they'd try to go to something, any point in his life, and he'd be like, well, yeah, right now I'm looking for a job. Lorne, we're not talking about right now, dude. We need to go back to the moments in time when you lied and said you were driving to a fair to look across the fair and see a young underage girl. Well, it's just to see if we were real. No, Lorne, you went there because you were desperate. You were hoping to see if she was real. You were stalking her. You wanted to see if she was meeting somebody else. That's creepy, my friend. Well, you're not my friend, but you know what I mean. It's creepy. And you lied about that. So when you're in those sessions with the counselor, you're going to be lying your ass off. You even lied when you were driving drunk and talked about your friend Rick. He doesn't like to talk. And you thought that was going to fly because you're stupid. You couldn't even come up with, yeah, Rick and I, we've been friends for 20 years. He don't want to talk to you guys. He's married. Just wants to drive me home, whatever. And let me tell you a story about our past, about my past. He couldn't even come up with that. He just said, yep, I'm lying my ass off and I'm being honest about it. Because he's stupid. Because he will never, ever progress past 7th grade level in terms of communication skills. I'm not telling him he should lie. But what I am saying is, if you're going to lie, Lorne, at least base it on some kind of truth, because most lies are based on some kind of truth. That way you can perpetuate that lie. You can keep that lie going because you can use real facts surrounding it. If you play basketball, you can now tell people you were a basketball star, because you can give them information about practices, other players, games. And you've been playing games? But you've never done anything, Lorne. So your lies they would have no base in reality whatsoever. And again, with 50 plus years, you don't have any stories to tell, and you don't even have any lies worthy of telling. That's how pathetic you are. Lorne is a short-term liar. I'll never do any of that again. You can watch me very closely. And then 2 hours later, he does the exact same thing again. His lies about going to the Sting House, you can't ask him any questions because they crumble, they disintegrate as soon as you ask him for more clarification on what he means. He came up, think about this. This dude, his reason is that there were no exits from Nashville to Bowling Green. There was no place to turn around. His dogs were home alone in a thunderstorm, and he needed to get back to them. Then we get to the food, the macaroni and cheese. Then we get to him being taken advantage of. And it's just all this crap that definitely didn't happen. This guy needs help. He needs a lot of help. He's a liar. He's a thief. He's an unrepentant pedophile. And I don't think he'll ever change. And I think for the rest of his life, God, I hope it's not long. I know that's fucked up to say, but he has nothing to offer. He would probably be better off dead. Because at least that way, he wouldn't have to live the miserable life he's created by telling all of these lies to himself. Lorne is the kind of guy who probably lied when he called and left a pointless message to Debbie, one of thousands. Well, I almost stopped and got a cookie whoopie pie, but I didn't because I wanted to stick to my diet. Cookie whoopie pie, I say Wookie. Cookie whoopie pie sounds really good right now. He has no willpower. He went back and got it, or he had already eaten it. He would lie about some dumb shit like that. He would be lying about everything. He lies to people about how he treats other people, I'm sure. He tells his mom he's a saint to Ramona, and look at what she's done to me. My mom loves me. He definitely lied to his mom about his siblings. At school, I can see him lying to the teachers. Anything that he can use to manipulate people, he's going to try to do it. But he's not a good liar. And the only person he lies well enough to convince is himself. Lorne, you are a liar, and I don't think you will ever change. I just wanted to pop a video out during this celebratory time, this Lorne-mas. I'll get more out more frequently. Life has been crazy. I'm tired a lot, and I've got a lot of things to do with my kids. But I love you guys. I will see you in the next one.